This installment of For Fun's Sake may contain lewd comments, gestures, and or faces not appropriate for anyone, and swears, and tomfoolery. It's rated A for adult, but not in the sex way, unfortunately.
The views expressed are not those of MTN, MCAD, or anyone, not even us sometimes, because the joke comes first, and then professional integrity.
1, 2.
Why would I drive a car into a swimming pool? Skip my classes just to seem pretty cool. Why would I be that guy? Why would I buy a plane ticket to the Amazon? Compete naked in a triathlon. Why would I waste my time?
Ready? Did you hit record? Oh, we already started. We are speeding away.
With Sami and EJ.
Hello! Hi!
Welcome to our podcast. It's called For Fun's Sake.
Welcome!
We randomly generate words and then play improv games and also get very off topic, and we aren't very good at it.
Well, that's kind of the whole point, though, is to get off topic.
Yeah, but I think it ups the funny if we pretend that we're trying really hard to be good at it, but we just can't do it.
I mean, but we also physically can't do.
No.
I physically can't not get off topic. Okay, so we are going to start with.
We like to start with some banter.
Yes, we do. Oh wait, what did you see this week?
I saw Captain Marvel.
Oh yeah.
So good. Recommended heavily.
And she was amazing.
Yes. Well, I mean, I had the plague, so I also watched a lot of things that I
Yeah.
don't quite remember.
That makes sense because you really had a high fever, so
Yeah,
your body
for
was like
4 days.
your body was like no.
Yeah, I watched Russian Doll, and I don't know if I don't get it, like just in general, or if like I was.
Well, it's like Groundhog Day.
Well, yeah, but the whole show is like building up to like why they keep looping, and they just never. It just stops, and they're like, okay, cool, let's go have this parade with these homeless people that were actually kind of like a villain for a hot second.
Well, I haven't had a chance to see it yet, so no spoilers.
I
Because
spoiled it.
my mom was literally like, "You need to watch this," because she was like, "You would highly enjoy it."
I mean, I enjoyed it a lot. I love Natasha Lyonne.
Because she's amazing.
Her whole deal is like,
Oh, fuck you!
and like that's good.
I
But,
love
like,
her. No, yeah, I'll watch it. You know what? I'll watch it and then I'll like,
report back.
yeah, and then I'll be like, no, this is what I think it means, and then you can be like, oh,
And I can just be like, I don't get it.
I don't get it, and then I'll be like, well, this is what I think it is.
Scratch my butt.
So.
Monkey. Anyway, what did you watch?
What did I watch? Oh, I rewatched. I just bought as a present to myself for tax time. I bought a John Carpenter collection because I'm a big John Carpenter fan, and so it's like The Thing, and like was it like Village of the Damned, and it's like 4 of his like
Dope.
his hits. And so I rewatched The Thing, and it was like higher definition, so you can really see.
The crunchiness.
It was so good. I forgot how much I like thoroughly enjoyed that movie until I was like sitting there eating popcorn watching it, and like when the monster would come out, I would like eat the popcorn harder because I was like, oh, I'm so into it. So yeah.
That's how you know that you're into it, is you eat popcorn
I do.
harder.
Or if I'm literally, my mom was watching me once. We were in the theater and we were watching The Grudge because I also love The Grudge. Mm-hmm. And when we were watching it, she actually stopped and was watching me because I held, like, it was popcorn because we always get popcorn when we go to movies. You know, it's a thing.
That's how you watch a movie.
Exactly. So it was like popcorn and M&Ms, and I held them in my hand for so long that the M&Ms had completely melted, and I just held it because I was so entranced by the movie and like so freaked out. And then finally I like put it in my mouth and I was like, oh, and then she just laughed because I was like, what happened? I like just grabbed these, and she was like, no, that was literally like 15 minutes ago. You've had them just chilling in your hand. And I was like,
that's a testament to like how unable to focus on things you are. You forgot.
I was so ready. I was like, and it's true. Like whenever I watch a good horror movie where either moments get me or I get really into it, I usually do. I'll have like gummy worms or something. I cannot go to the cinema without snacks.
The cinema. Ooh.
The cinema, yeah.
The cinema.
The cinema. I cannot go. So like I'll have like super ropes or like cotton candy. And you know I'm really...
In case you need to rappel.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be like, and then I need my fairy floss, as it were, to shove in my mouth and go, you don't know, you can't handle the truth. And then I propel out of there.
Just Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible style. But you can tell I'm really into a movie when I get the snacks and I don't eat them. That means I've been so hyper-focused on everything that's going on that, don't break it.
She's gonna keep doing
that I physically can't actually enjoy what I buy. So afterwards, I'm always like, oh, I have stuff to take home now versus, oh, I was a pig and ate a whole like medium-sized popcorn by myself.
See, my family, we don't do late to things. So we're always like 30, 45 minutes early to the movie. So the popcorn is gone by the time the preview starts.
Wait, so you don't just get there like 15 minutes early so you can get snacks and then find a seat? You get there that early? Okay,
Yeah, it's a thing. I've unlearned it,
well, because like usually we also it's like usually the popcorn's almost gone by the time the the stupid trailers are over.
Oh yeah, we're
but
done
like
by then. Like
damn,
the movie starts and we put our empty thing down and we're like, time for movie.
Jeez. Oh, I could not enjoy a movie without a nosh.
Well, listen, I've been going to movies for a long time. It's a well-oiled machine here.
You say that, but I can guarantee you I've been going to movies far longer than you have.
4 years.
Yeah.
That's not that long.
It is though. Cause who actually has seen more stuff though? Let's debate.
Probably you, but that's because I watch a lot of YouTube shit. YouTube shit is not shit. I love my YouTube viewers. YouTube is
Yeah, you just totally downed our own social media. Fuck YouTube.
YouTube is the worst.
YouTube is the worst. Not that we totally don't get like any monetization or actual help from YouTube. Oh, thanks YouTube. Okay, so let's move on. I think we should play a game.
That was enough witty banter. Do you think people believe that we're friends?
I definitely don't think people believe we're friends.
Okay.
I think they think that we're enemies and we're doing this because it's court ordered.
Or it's like or enemies to friends, and we just hate each other so much.
Yes.
And it's like a masochistic thing.
I mean, honestly, that's how I've become friends with a ton of people.
All right.
Was through hatred. If anyone ever gets to meet my best friend Megan, she will tell you the truth of how we met.
Is that you hated each other?
She hated me with it. She wanted me like dead. Like she hated me. Yeah. And then I buttered her up. And now she's like my bitch. And she's not my bitch. I'm actually her bitch. That's the real secret of our relationship. I just love her that much. All right, first game.
First game is called Don't Get Me Started.
Yeah, and this is where we rant. And
we randomly generate a word.
Yeah, one word.
And we have to find something to rant about it.
Yes. And what's our word today? Cover. Like, okay, like a swimsuit cover, a pool cover, or like a cover of a song.
Oh, I was thinking like a lid.
Oh, like Tupperware cover.
Yeah.
There's so many covers.
Well, because it's a verb, kind of like you cover.
Just do it.
Schmikey.
Schmikey, schmuck, do it. No, because that's tough because...
It can mean, it's so versatile.
Okay.
This is what makes me mad.
Well, no.
Versatile.
Genuine, because then you're like, well, wait, what are we covering up? Are we like...
Am I covering you?
Are you covering me?
Is there an explosion? And
We're like full body. Yeah, you're like, I'm gonna save your life, bitch. And then you just like full body slam.
If I were saving your life, would I be calling you a bitch?
I mean, yeah, you probably would.
True. I'm that special kind of asshole.
And welcome to the fact that we are actually on probation.
You might be. I'm an angel.
Okay. Sure you are, bud. You're the best angel, sure. Oh, that dried my mouth out really quick. That was a big pop. Okay. Tupperware lids.
Okay.
Fucking suck.
They don't hold anything in.
They don't hold anything in, and you can never find the right fucking one when you need it. Also,
they don't exist on this plane. They just kind of
and
the two.
I hate it. The only thing that's awesome. Sorry, I am like today has just been a day. Woke up with an allergy migraine. Today has been great. But no, like Rubbermaids are amazing. They're like the only thing I love.
You mean
But
Schmubber
Schmade. But they're so expensive. They're super pricey.
But then, do they last longer?
Yes and no, because it depends on what you get. Because now this gets into the glass or plastic debate.
Oh, glass all the way.
I know, right? But then like you drop it and it breaks. So then you're like, okay, well, let's do plastic because technically if I drop it, it won't break. And then it's just
shitty.
But then it tastes like crap after you microwave it 4
Glass.
times.
Glass.
Glass is just so pricey.
I just steal my mom's.
Yeah, some of us can't afford that ability. Some of us have lived on our own for a long time.
True.
Yeah, and it's not worth it. I miss my mom.
Well, if you live like 8 hours away.
Boy, that's true. And it's great because I'll come home and she'll pretend like nothing's changed. She'll be like, so what do you want to do for dinner? And she'll start pulling out the plates and being like, all right, this is what I'm making. And then she'll be like, I got to do a load of laundry. Do you want me to wash your clothes? Oh, you know what? I'm just going to do it. So like over Christmas, I woke up, my clothing was washed, breakfast was made. She opened up, because we eat in front of the TV, because, yeah, we're that family, you know. And so she pulled out the TV tray, and she had already put my water on it. And she's like, okay, baby, I love you. And I was like, stop crowding me, Mom.
What?
No, actually, I was like, Mommy, I love you so much. And I joked with her that I was like, if I was 16 when she did that, I'd be like, God, you're like messing up my style. You're smothering me. And now I'm like, Mommy, can we get McDonald's? And she'll be like, yeah, sweetie, of course. And I'm like, I love you, Mommy.
That is pretty dope.
Yeah, but no, I can't steal her Tupperware because she legit does have, like, she has Rubbermaid. She's got the nice stuff, and so I can't take that. Yeah. But also, we did a trade when I moved, so I gave her, like, some of my good baking ware, and then she threw the rest away. Because she moved into a new apartment, so I was like, we don't need it, throw it away. And then I got sad because she threw away one of my favorite baking tins. And then I was like, aww. And then I was like, well, whatever, I told you to throw it away. That was really my fault. I actually, okay, in all honesty. So my friend Haley, hi Haley, I love you. Her birthday was March 4th. And so for her birthday party, which was March 9th, I made her a cake. And I literally almost cried. I was in Target. I adulted. I bought specifically a baking pan that came with a lid, a cover.
Shit.
Yeah,
dude.
like I literally hunted and I was like, okay, so it could either be this one for 20 or this one for 10, knowing that eventually I'm going to want to upgrade to the 20 when I start baking more again. And then I was like, oh my God, I just adulted the fuck out of this. And then I was like, yeah,
shit.
I was like, as I put it in the cart, I was like, is this my life now? Getting excited over bakeware? And then I was like,
I
yeah.
embrace it. Because, like, I get to be excited about stuff. Like, some people, they're like, this is stupid and boring and being adult is bad. Because no, you get to be excited about stuff that you're excited about.
You know what's genuinely exciting? Vacuums. That sounds very strange. They're so expensive.
Vacuums really suck.
Oh my God. Jesus. What the fuck was that face? Oh my God. They do, and they actually have nice covers on vacuums. I know Haley and I were looking because for her birthday, her mom was going to buy her a vacuum.
We got a new vacuum here, and
Val
God was doing it, like, hey, check it out. I was like, wow, that really sucks.
Your dad jokes hurt me sometimes to my soul.
But they're funny.
Oh my God.
They're so funny.
Okay, that was funny. You're like, love me. But no, yeah, I don't know, because covers are kind of a hard thing, because I get more pissed not about the cover itself, but the thing usually that it's covering, which sounds weird. But like...
Well, usually it's the cover that fails first.
I don't know. I've just had really bad luck with like Tupperware. I've also had really bad luck with swimsuit covers. I bought one once many years ago, and I had the strangest sunburn and tan on my body.
What are
Swimsuit covers? You don't know what that is? Well, let me explain it to you. It's literally just like a large shirt or dress for your swimsuit. Okay. So like after you're done swimming and you're dry, you put it over it to cover yourself.
I know what that is. I just
I've
never heard it called that.
Yeah.
I don't know what I call that.
just like a swimsuit shirt.
Swim shirt? I don't know.
Swim shirt? I don't know. Yeah, they're usually called swimsuit covers. And like I bought one once when I was younger that was like lacy. And then of course we had this secret lake that we loved in Wisconsin called Lake Ripley. Crystal clear water. Literally the cleanest lake, or it was the cleanest lake for a long time in Wisconsin, and it was hidden in the middle of nowhere. And we were out sunbathing, and I was like, I'm young, I don't need no sunscreen. And so I had the weirdest sunburn and tan on my body for like many months, like almost a year. And then finally I was like, oh, it's gone, thank God. Like I was like, Jesus, it looks like someone had like I had lost a battle with like a giant squid. Like
See, I have farmer's tan, but then I got severe sunburn this summer, so it's not there anymore.
The one positive of the ozone layer getting depleted.
Yes. Let's move on so we're not just reviewing
You
products.
just uncovered a big secret that I'm going to die one day.
Instead of
we're all gonna
real
die one
products,
day.
Let's advertise fake
Oh
products.
yeah,
in our
let's
game
make an
called
advertisement.
Advertise this. Would you like to introduce the game?
Sure. This is where we pick 2 words and we have to make an advertisement. And today's words are minister mailbox. Oh my God, that is so easy. Ho, 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 ho. Welcome. Do you as a minister have a lot of mail problems? Oh God, it sounds like... Hey, as a man, do you have a lot of male problems? I should specify for myself, Sammy, it's M-A-I-L, not M-A-L-E. 2 different males.
This could be like some kind of like software where you conglomerate all your emails.
Oh my God, so it's kind of like AOL for priests.
Yeah.
Instant messenger for priests. Hello, Father McAllister. What are you doing? Send.
I'm just blessing all this water. There's so much for this Easter Sunday.
Oh, I thought of a really bad joke.
I will cut it out if it's too bad.
No, I'm not going to say it.
Okay.
Because then everyone will know I am so going to hell.
We're all going to hell by Catholic standards because we poop. So like just, it's fine.
And we eat shrimp. I mean,
Well,
you don't. I do, though.
Yeah.
So I'm already
That's
like...
personal choice. Pooping is not personal choice.
I mean, it could be.
You sound like the Pope.
I am Pope Sammy. Oh, first off, today's order of business: don't poop. Second, POL PIM. Oh God, what did I take? Priest Instant Messenger. PIM. Hello and welcome to PIM. I am your Pope, and today I'm going to send you all a PIM. PIM. Oh my God, that should be the sound.
Check your PIMs.
Check your PIMs.
You don't need
for
to
some
come to Mass to
hymns.
get your blessings.
Just go to PIM.
To save on paper, we're not printing out the hymnals. We're just going to send them via PIM.
Everyone pulls out their phone and they're like, all right, is your PIM up? And you're like, yes. And then they're like, all right, we're singing song 12. Which was song 12? Oh my God. I feel like this should actually be like a real product. I feel like the Pope would be like, buy that shit.
There's a church I drive by to get to my grandma's house, and they have this big banner that's like, we're in get the download the app for the church. And I like legit think they might do that.
We should like talk to that church and be like, hey, do you want to
some
broaden? Yeah,
Let's
like
do some
and be like, hello and welcome to PIM. 2 heathens are making this app.
We have a way for profit. We will.
Should we just lie to them and be like,
Yes, I'm Catholic.
yeah, well, not that, but like have no meetings with them and be like, no, we're 2 male priests, like not, a non-binary and a weirdo. Like, be like, hello, my name is Samuel, and I'm here to sell you a product. My voice sounds like this because
I've
of
never hit puberty.
Holy, I'm a young wee lad.
I'm an altar boy. I'm a young entrepreneur.
That was actually going to be my joke. And then I went,
so
oh, I was like, oh, baby, that's a bad joke. That's a bad. Well, I wasn't thinking the nice. I was thinking
you're a
like,
young entrepreneur and you want to bring the church into the first.
oh no, I was going
You were
all
going to
like
sex place.
so bad sex place.
See, this is why
Pedophilia is not good.
This is why we are different people. This is where the line goes, because I'm like, yeah,
Altar boy,
and stuff is
we're the
great.
same people. Altar boys, and I was like, oh, I would have been like, hey Pope, how's it going? And mine was great, just talking to this boy on Pim.
I was just trying to bring the church into the new millennia,
And I'm keeping it in the past. I'm going to hell. I mean, I'm going to hell. Like literally, you can ask family members of mine; they will directly tell you, no, she going down. And I'm like, yelling timber.
Hey, Kesha.
Oh, I want to be Kesha so bad. You just want to be with Kesha so bad.
This life goals or wife goals, or do I want to be you or be on you kind of situation with her.
The only thought I had was, why not both? And I'm like,
That brings up a different clone kind of situation, which
Orange is Jesus, too much
you're
lesbian
not
thoughts.
the first person
No.
who has made that mistake.
Oh, instead of Orphan Black?
Yeah.
So, oh my God, do you watch that clone show, Orange is the New Black? That sounds like such a weird mom. Like, oh, darling, have you seen the new thing on the
That
face
show with
pages?
the lesbians, Orange is the New Black.
You're like, no.
Also-
You're like, this is a different show with
With
lesbians.
the brunette and the blonde. More specific, please, mother.
Yeah, you're like, that's all the shows
That's
right
all
now.
of them.
That's all the shows.
That's diversity to mainstream people. Is one's blonde and one's brunette.
But they're still both lesbians and white. And they're not even real lesbians. They're man-made lesbians.
Yeah, they're still conventionally attractive, femme-looking, presenting.
Yeah. However, I'm not going to lie. I was talking about this with Nicole yesterday. Oh my God, like deja vu. We were talking about how we were both in love with Donna from that 70s show.
Oh, of course.
Right?
Like there's nothing wrong with loving her.
But so when I watched Orange is the New Black for the first time, I was like, oh my God, Donna finally did it. She finally became the true woman she was supposed to be.
There's a scene in that 70s show where they're like, yeah, let's go to prison and I'll be someone's bitch and blah, blah. And then
And then you're like, wait, she did go to prison
She did it.
for drugs because she was a huge drug leader. And I love her so much.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with liking that. All that
No.
but it's like,
And you
it's
know what?
so
Hey,
funny that mainstream people.
if you're an entrepreneur of something, just make sure you support it and you don't physically hurt other people to do it. Sammy's
I
quote
went a
of
totally
the
different
day.
place.
Oh.
I was like, they're both white, and there was no
Well, there was no diversity.
all femme/ships are all white people, but people
But we
the
can change
executives-
that.
The executives are like, make one blonde, and then we're fine. Anyway, yes, that's my career goal is to make diverse media.
Gotcha. So Pim is a thing with diverse media.
Yes. Let's bring in more people other than white priests.
You want to try another game? I think
Yeah.
Pim is a good. I think Pim and
If you're not in charge of it making terrible jokes, I feel like it could go places.
what Pim? Yeah, if I don't make really bad, really horrible jokes, then Pim could actually. I think Pim could take off. I'm into it. Priest Instant Messenger. I'm down. We'll make a lot of money. Be the next Facebook. Oh my God, we should make face pages.
Then you're just going to confuse middle-aged moms all over the planet.
Or they'll be like, finally, the place I've been looking for. They'll be like, I don't know what this Facebook is, but face pages, baby. That's where it's at.
It's MySpace.
Oh, God.
All right.
Oh, MySpace.
Our third game is called Think About It.
And this is where we generate a word and we try to come up with a conspiracy theory, but I usually end up talking about real conspiracy theories. Man, oh my God. Don't get us started.
So, disclaimer, men are great individually most
Yeah,
of the time.
yeah,
It's just men as a class that we're talking about.
Well, no, I mean, okay,
There are
you're
some-
talking about, I'm specifically going against the nice guy, and that's the guy.
Yeah, those are awful men.
Yeah, but like that subgroup, because I genuinely don't look at like men and be like all men suck. I just hate the ones who yeah.
See, I just say
You-
men this, and people think, "Ooh, not all men," and I'm like,
'Cause-
no, a very specific brand of men who get offended when I say
Yeah.
men.
So if you're offended by anything we say within the next 10 minutes, we're talking to you specifically.
Yeah,
Yeah. So men.
men.
Oh, men have fucked up so much shit. So much shit.
They feel like they get to get emotional, and then when you get emotional back at them, they're like, "No, you're getting emotional. I can't have this discussion with you."
Well, like I think what's really hard is that men have this whole toxic masculinity thing, which is still very big, and men who have realized that like, oh, I can have a bromance and like I can be a little bit more, not like the idea of masculine. Like the more, I hate to say the word woke, but that's the only thing that's coming to mind because you said that before. Was like
realize that
they're
more
wrong.
to
Yeah.
life than
Yeah.
being gross.
Exactly. And
But then
like
they're still gross because they just realize they're like, men can do this, and they don't examine like why the patriarchy made them feel that they couldn't.
yeah. Patriarchy lovers just suck.
The patriarchy ruined everything.
I mean, but kind of men have always kind of ruined everything.
Yeah,
Women
but,
have
like,
always been
this
inferior.
Toxic, like overarching, like
No, that's true.
men are this,
Also,
women
though,
are this,
can we?
women are men.
I really want to bring up the fact that women of color have it so much worse than we do.
Yes.
I want to say that now to put it like a full
the
blanket out
the
there.
patriarchy is one thing, and then the cis hetero white
Wait.
patriarchy is a different thing. White
I don't. They
patriarchy-
kind of mesh together, though.
They do, but like
Mm.
we're not. I mean, intersectionality, yeah, but I wasn't
No.
thinking about it.
Oh,
You're right.
I
You're
always
right.
I always think about that because that's something that people don't talk about.
No.
And that really bothers me, especially being that I grew up around many different people who come from many different places and have seen things very differently and have experienced things very differently. And it's yeah.
'Cause
So
Unfortunately, women of color, they don't experience sexism and racism. They experience sexist racism or racist sexism. It's always an amalgamation of the
of both. Yeah. Whereas like we usually just get like the sexism, maybe some racism, yay. But like no, it's
Yay, sexist.
go sexism. Like the other day I was reading this article that made me so mad about a woman who basically hemorrhaged to death after giving birth because she was African American.
And the doctor's like, "You're fine."
And the doctor was like, the nurses were like, her case isn't that bad, as she was bleeding through her sheets. By the time they got her into a CT scan to see how bad the bleeding was, she had died. Yeah. It had been over like 15 hours that she was bleeding. And
yeah, that happens like
well, like all the time. But like this, our medicine, that shouldn't happen.
no, and that happens disproportionately to women of color, specifically Black women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Like if that were a white woman, she would have been rolled in immediately. If
Exactly.
there was, like, even a little bit of spotting that was out of the
yeah.
ordinary.
No, and I knew that was always a thing. And I knew, because it's one of those things that like growing up, well, Caucasian, because that's what I am, I've always known.
You're white.
I'm white. What? I wouldn't know. Haley the other day looked at my leg and went, "Holy shit, you're white." I was like, "I'm a ghost." Woo!
I'm gonna sneak up on you.
Oh. Sorry, I took that dark places.
God.
But I think what made it so hard for like the reason that article has really stuck with me was because of just hearing the father side of the story, watching her die.
Yeah, because like there's nothing he couldn't do.
Yeah, no. And it's like it's different if let's say she did die during childbirth, because unfortunately that does still happen, but this was like way after. And it's one of those things that it's like I don't understand. I guess what it is the older I get, and I've been thinking about this a lot recently because our birthday is coming up in a month, and every day I don't understand the world anymore. You know what I mean? It's like every day I wake up and I see like these fights about how like they're like, oh, there's a difference between terrorists and white supremacists, and I'm like,
no,
they're the
there's not.
same. There's no difference. Your skin color, if you're killing people
For your ideology.
for your ideology, you are a terrorist.
That's the definition of terrorism.
That's a terrorist. And
but see, the problem is white people made that definition, so then white people, when they do that thing, try to spin it differently because they want to protect their whiteness before they want to, they don't want to be associated with terrorists. Terrorist was like a bad word.
I just, yeah, like, I don't know. Every day I look at what mankind has done.
Yeah.
And every day I understand, like, as a kid, and granted, to give you a backstory of how I grew up, because I grew up very differently than even EJ did. I grew up in a neighborhood I grew up in Jacksonville, Florida, for a period of time where I actually had to have a kidnapped ID card. So crime has always been so bad in Florida that children for a specific time had to have an ID card in case you were kidnapped that had like 2 photos of you and your fingerprints on it.
So that they could like figure
So
out
they could find
if
you.
they found
And
the kid, they would know who it was.
exactly. And I also grew up where corporal punishment was still a thing in Florida. So I went to a school where
You could get hit.
I could get hit, and they did hit. I was very lucky they didn't hit me because my mom specifically was like, no, but I came very close. I was a very sassy child, and I got that hand raised a couple times. But it's like, you know, just even then I was like, you know what? The world can't be so bad. And it's just the older I get, I'm like, Jesus, like women of color can't be themselves and be happy because of racist, sexist views. Mm-hmm. People of color in general are just discriminated against. I still hear shit about being Italian and people still make fun of me for that. Yeah. Well, and not only that.
Mean, is it like spicy meatball or is it like actual?
No, like someone was like, the Italians just like fuck shit up. And I was like, well, I actually took a genetic test and I found out I'm North African and very, very minimal North African and very much like Mediterranean and English. And so like when people say that shit, I'm like, but like, we're not bad people. Like, we're kind of nice.
I grew up in like the epitome of like white suburbia.
Yeah.
And yet it baffles me because I sought out the information. I took sociology and I read articles and like I'm very much an activist and I very much understand that I come from a place of privilege. And I don't understand how people from where I'm from
don't see that.
They don't understand. Like when I cite an article, like we read this article and we did an activity in my textbook related to this is racism and stuff. And people are like, that's stupid liberal commie shit. It's like, I don't understand people. They like their bubble.
It's ignorance is bliss.
Yeah.
That's the truest thing.
It's like these people taught me kindness first. And these are the people that like,
aren't actually kind first.
Yeah, and like my whole thing is I extend kindness first, probably to a fault because I get shit on a lot, but like.
But not everyone.
And these are the people who taught me this. And I still don't understand that like this is real.
No, yeah, ignorance is definitely bliss, and also people fear what they don't understand, and that fear turns into hatred, which is why because they didn't grow up with cultural differences like living in another country and coming here. No, you're right. You're right. But you also grew up in a very different time period. And I hate using that as an excuse because I don't use it as an excuse, but I'm using it as like a guide.
Oh, you're saying like the older people, older generation
don't fully have that grasp because their parents taught them very different things. Yeah. So like, for example, my mom could make drinks when she was 10 years old because she used to mix drinks for my grandparents' bridge parties. My mom's she's going to hate that I'm going to say this. She's going to be 55 this summer. Yeah. And she's even like, we've had a lot of philosophical talks. Like now that I'm an adult, she's like, oh my God, I enjoy spending time with you. My mom, fun fact, and she will admit this, my mom hates children. She wanted to have a child because it was kind of expected, you know, for both of my parents. Like, oh, when you get older, you have a kid. So she had me.
Meet someone, you get married, you
have a kid. Exactly. But she's hates children. And so it's really nice now because she's also seeing the world from a very different perspective, especially when I came out as queer. Everything changed for her because now she's like, oh, well, because she has a wonderful queer community and she does actually a lot
Yeah, she was active with like the AIDS crisis.
Yes, she was. But it's very different when it like hits you home.
Yeah, when it's in your house.
Exactly. And so it's like, even after I came out to her, things have changed and her ideas have changed. And like, we even had this conversation when I was in high school. I asked her, cause we were watching like, I was like watching MTV, and this was when 16 and Pregnant had like just come out. It was like the first time. Mm-hmm. And we were kind of talking about abortions and like things like that. Cause I grew up in a no question is a stupid question household, which is to this day my philosophy. I mean, I poke fun at my friends, but there's generally like, if you want knowledge, you shouldn't feel bullied into asking for it, you know?
If you, with good intention, want information, I'm
exactly.
totally down. But if you're asking stupid questions to be like an asshole.
Well, that's totally different. But I mean, if you're genuinely seeking knowledge, then I want to be like, let's converse and have a real dialogue. Jam. Let's jam. Space Jam. Wow, sorry. Come on, it's Slam. We'll do this. So... my mom, I was like, well, what happens if I got pregnant? Which I knew I wouldn't. I was, no. I was like, I couldn't even take care of myself, let alone a relationship.
Also, like, who's lining up?
Yeah, right? Who is lining up for this?
Where are the peens?
I needed the peen, and I didn't get the peen. And anywho, I did not get the who either. So, I asked her, I was like, well, what would happen if I got pregnant? She'd be like, oh, well, I'd kick you out. And I was like, why? And so we had a genuine conversation about it. And literally a few years later, she was like, you know what? I've really thought about that. And she was like, you're right. I was wrong. And I was like, wow. Because I also told her, I was like, well, that's stupid. And here's why. And I had opinions. I've always been a very opinionated person.
PowerPoint, like, this is why.
No, I guess what it is my mom and I have always had a dialogue where like we'll say our opinion and then listen to other people and listen to it and then be like, oh, you know what? I didn't think about it like that. Or be like, oh. And so she really thought about it and was like, you know what? You were right. I wouldn't kick you out because that isn't the right thing to do. I would have helped you either, make the choice of abortion, adoption, or keeping the child. And then we would have had a more open dialogue about what parenting is actually like and the importance of certain core values and core morals and things.
You and,
exactly.
You go to school and shit.
And it's just like people, it is very generational. And there are people who actually want to grow. Like that's why I'm really proud of, honestly, my mom every day because she was a single parent who did a ton of shit on her own. And so growing up with me was very much of a challenge because I have all of these idiosyncrasies and all these things that I do that she had never dealt with before. Yeah. And so she grew with me. And it's just really hard because a lot of adults don't do that.
See, I feel the same way because my brother came out like the perfect child.
But you're also...
He didn't cry at night or whatever, and I have like the same kind of shit. I didn't talk until I was 2.5. I didn't sleep through the night. I cried about everything. And my mom was like...
You're like, what do I do with this? How do I person you? Like, what is this?
What are you doing?
Yeah, like my mom will talk about what it was like teaching me to read because I'm dyslexic. Yeah. And she'll talk about how much she had to learn because my mom actually used to be, for a while when we first moved to Wisconsin, because of her degree, she actually was a substitute teacher for a while. And she was like, teaching everybody else super easy, but she was like, but you were so specific that I had to relearn how to teach you. Yeah. And she has always really valued like the things we've done together, like her teaching me how to do math and all this. And it's hard to realize that so many people don't want to change. It's hard to look at the world as we've created it and actually have hope, which I think everyone should still have hope because we are the change that we want to see.
In this day and age, it's hard to believe that,
but we have to, because if we don't keep believing that, then there's nothing, racism and sexism will win, hate, transphobia, homophobia, all of that will win. And it's like, we're all just people. Mm-hmm. And I guess it's just really upsetting because like, and I hate to say the word colorblind, but my mom raised me to be like, no matter who you look like what you look like, what your gender is, we're all people. Yeah. We're all equal. Yeah. You treat others. It's Someone is not liking the discussion we're having. But but after the heart attack that EJ and I both had, I think we both had the same look on our face. We were like, what is this? You treat others the way you want to be treated. And it's really upsetting that people don't.
Colorblind is the wrong word because it feels like.
Well, and it's a very outdated term, too.
Equality isn't like we all get the same step stools. Like, as a white person, I don't need any step stools.
As a short person, we do need step stools, but that's a whole different discussion. But no,
a straight white woman doesn't need as many step stools to get
to where we want to go.
To like where white women, or what did I say? White women don't need as many step stools
as like a person of color need.
A queer.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah. So like. Equality is not, we all get the same step stool. It's we get the step stools to the people who need it.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily
and we can all,
it's like, I see that you are of color. I see that you have more needs than me because you're different.
Yeah.
So
let's do a thing.
Yeah.
Let's make a thing.
So it's more color
aware, I guess. I don't like that either. I just like to be like, we're all people. Fun fact, if you cut us open, we all have the same stuff inside. Unless you're like me, who's missing items. Pick and chose with me.
Never mind. I was going to say, I've never had anything removed, but my wisdom teeth.
Yeah. No, yeah. And some people haven't.
I know. There are some people out there who are like perfectly healthy.
And are wise. God, I hate that joke. My mom used to make that joke to me.
Healthy, wealthy, and wise?
No. When I had my wisdom teeth out, she was like, oh, she did the dad joke. My mom had a dad joke moment. She's like, oh, I guess you're not wise anymore.
I guess you're not.
And then I was like super high and I was like, oh, what? And then she was like, never mind. But no, it's just, yeah, I guess what it is
men are the worst.
We don't need to, there's literally no conspiracy that we need to come up with because men are the conspiracy. Like, there's so many.
Men, chill out. Listen to someone who is not like you.
Yeah.
And maybe absorb that and take it to heart.
Yeah.
Not just like,
Anywhoville. Like, it just, don't make judgments about women. Not all women have PMS. Queens. All women are queens. Not all women have PMS. Some women don't have painful periods.
Some women have
seriously painful periods. It's literally what. So if anyone's curious, I'm just gonna give a little disclosure. It's what your period is basically you build a room for a baby, and then when the baby doesn't enter the space, your body destroys the room.
Your uterus is like, you didn't make.
You didn't do what we were supposed to do, and so it does contract and lets everything go. No, we do not have physical control. It's gravity. Like, you can't.
Yeah. See, if we had control over it, we would not do that sweet ass morning thing where you lay down and then 8 hours later you sit up and then it just.
And we would also be like, oh,
that would be not a thing.
Yeah. But periods are really healthy because they clean out your uterus. Because if you don't and it builds up, you have higher risk of uterine cancer and all of these other diseases. So first off, thank your mother for putting up with the fact that not only did she bleed for a long time before and after having you, but she also paused it for 9 months to have you because
risk uterine cancer.
Yeah. Well, she didn't risk uterine cancer because once the baby's in there, everything changes physiologically.
Risked uterine cancer.
But the fact that she let another human being alter the shape of her body, because all of her organs.
Forever.
Yeah, all of her. Well, not forever.
Forever.
No, BB. Do you not know how babies work? It's okay. So basically,
the stork comes and puts
and in the Cabbage Patch. Yeah. And then the flies right out. Yep, with the Dumbo, with the feather and everything.
And then the birds and the bees sing a little song, and then the babies.
Oh my God, you should also watch. Fun random fact: everyone should pause what you're doing and watch.
Watch our episode.
Go to the YouTube after you're done. And watch the birds and the bees from Grease too. It's one of the quotes from the song is, "Where does the pollen go? Reproduction." I watched it high, so I recommend it. Anyways, so back to roundabout circle. Mankind, nice guys
are the worst.
And women know exactly what we're talking about. Some men might know, but you don't know that we call them nice guys.
So you might be a nice guy if we're gonna do some Jeff Fox.
Yeah, let's do. You might be a nice guy if.
So basically, nice guys, when we refer to them, like our little code, it's like guys who put forth kindness. They put forth kindness in
expecting something else.
They want something in return. It's not just being nice.
Yes.
I'm being nice to you, a femoid, and I want sex on my penis because I was nice.
But I'm expecting this. Example, someone I went to high school with and spent some time in college with, and now I am no longer friends with him after reading this post, posted on Facebook. I don't understand. She had just broken up with her boyfriend, so I took her out to dinner and bought her flowers. Why didn't she want to be with me?
Because she was grieving.
Yup. And she genuinely thought he was just being a friend.
Yes. Women are not things you put nice coins in and they spit out sex.
We don't just spit out our vagina. I mean, if you do something right. For some of us, it's like, hey, you wanna, huh? And then we'd be like, huh.
See, it's the nice guys that are like,
you stuff. I took you out to dinner and I made you laugh. Why didn't you fuck me?
Did you ask her, do you like me? Would you like to go out?
Or did you ask her, like, hey, do you want this to be a real relationship? Or go,
did you like go to this person who thought you were a friend up until now, and say, hey, this is a romantic gesture, would you accept it?
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure this girl probably would have said no.
Yeah, no, because she thought he was genuinely just a friend.
Yeah, and that's what friends do.
Yep.
Is when you get broken up with, you take them out to dinner.
Well, and then, like, women of color have it so much worse because some men just
expect them to be
expect it. Yeah. And it's like, rape culture
is the worst.
Well, and you know what's really hard is I was talking with someone once and they were like, it's so hard. They were like, I can always tell when someone's been like sexually assaulted, and they were just being an ass. And this unfortunately was another woman. This happens because nice, oddly enough, you can say nice women
women also
have
patriarchy.
Yeah, have their things. But I asked her, I was like, so what does that mean? Like, once someone's sexually assaulted, are you saying they're damaged goods? And she was like, yeah, and you can always tell. And I was like, well, I've been sexually assaulted multiple times. And then she stopped and she was like, oh. And I was like, genuinely, do you perceive me as someone who's damaged goods? And she was like, oh, and just like walked away. And I was like, no, like, I genuinely want to know, like,
no.
And it's like, no.
Sexual assault doesn't change
no, it doesn't change you as a person.
It's not a reflection of you as a person. It's a
reflection of society.
The assaulter.
Yes. Yeah. No. The assailant. The assailant. That's proper English. We learn. But I got brains.
I'm a writer.
But no, like, and it's so hard too because like sometimes I'll walk down the street. I don't know if anybody else has these thoughts. I have these thoughts all the time where I always genuinely because I love people watching, and I'll genuinely think about what the other person's going through, like what's happened in their lives, the things that they've seen. And I hate sometimes walking into like a woman's boutique because I'm a bitch who loves to shop. And I
love essential oils.
I love
those flowers.
I love it all. Give it to me. And I'll stand there sometimes and just be like, I wonder how many times each woman in here has been sexually assaulted.
And do they even realize it?
But yeah. So
Let's move on. I could do this all day.
For men, I know. We could do like a whole episode because
let's go to Slut Corner because we have.
Yes.
We've been talking
well,
about
and actually,
health, and
there's a ton of women's health today. So #Slut Corner, and this is where we talk about stuff. But basically, to end sort of that segment, a lot of men suck. Not all men, but if you took offense to anything we said,
talk to a woman and maybe figure out why.
And maybe, ask her what she's been through. How many times she's been sexually assaulted in a club.
And does she even realize it?
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. So
let's pull up our Slut Corner.
I'm going to. And so this, I think we should start with, since we were talking about periods, I think we should start with this one. And I kind of want to talk about that.
I can't read when you're holding it.
Well, I know. That's not going to help you at all. Because there's only it's not actually on our Facebook. So you have to read the Instagram. I told you they're mostly on Instagram.
Well, I was gonna pull up the Facebook
But-
just in case. Jesus.
So it's going to be this
The
bottom
bottom
one.
one.
So if you want to read it,
Menstrual cups and the environmental impact of tampons and pads.
I have so many thoughts on this.
Okay.
So
I don't
know
much.
Okay.
I just use pads because tampons
make you feel things. Okay. Internally. So
not make me feel things, just cause
they
me
hurt. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, you feel the pain. So there are usually multiple different options for women to use when they're bleeding, and I'm just going to kind of explain them because I don't think a lot of people understand what some of them are.
Pads and tampons.
Pads and tampons, yeah. So like one sits in your underwear under your
Like a sad diaper that I hate.
and then tampons, so pads go in your underwear, tampons actually go inside your body to stop the blood going on your underwear. And then what a menstrual cup is it works very much like a tampon. So you actually insert it into your body.
It's a silicone.
It's a silicone cup, and it can hold up to 8 hours of blood, which
depending on the body who is bleeding.
but usually like 6 to 8 hours, even if you're a heavy bleeder. Now tampons, it also kind of depends on how your body is. For me, it's like every 4 hours ish, sometimes a little more. You wouldn't know
have no idea.
because
I put them in, and 2 hours later, I'm like, I want to die. Shoot me in the head.
And see, I'm really lucky because I've been on, the reason I started the pill was because of how bad my periods were and how infrequent, because as I've mentioned, I have a lovely thing called PCOS. And so my periods were very infrequent. And so when I would get them, it would deteriorate my body. I would have shooting pains. I'd get physically ill. It literally felt like my dad asked me once, he was like, what does a cramp feel like? And I was like, well, it depends. Cause I can handle, like, now I have normal cramps, which are like a 3 on a pain scale for
It's just a little bit of a little.
yeah, like you're kind of like, oh, and it makes you feel icky, but like, you're like, whatever. Mine used to be like an 8 on a pain scale. So it felt like someone was stabbing me inside my body with a knife. So that's why I started the pill. And I love it because I don't feel that pain anymore. But menstrual cups work the same, except tampons don't disintegrate the way they should.
No.
And you shouldn't flush them down a toilet, which honestly I've done and a lot of people do just because it's easier to, once it's covered in blood and ickiness, you just drop it. It's not good. Don't do that. It's not healthy for the environment. However, they are making now biodegradable tampons.
Good.
Yes. But also with tampons comes something called toxic shock syndrome.
Yeah. Basically, it's a foreign body in your body.
Yeah, a foreign thing in your body.
And your body is like, hey, this doesn't belong here.
And what it does is because of that and the bacteria it grows on it because there are not good bacteria there. So anyways, long story short, menstrual cups are becoming the thing of the future, and I really want to try one.
I think it would cause me way more pain than a tampon, so I'm just gonna stick with my pads.
Do it. I would look into, because they are making biodegradable pads, because the one thing that really sucks about being someone who like we think about the earth and the fact that we're gonna live here.
Use straws anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Like we try to at least.
Also, I want to take down corporations and pollution and stuff, but also straws.
It's really hard when you're someone who's literally attached to something that you physically cannot live without it.
Yeah.
And it won't degrade.
If someone was like, you want to go see this piece this woman did a blanket from her pussy, I'd be like, no, absolutely not. And fuck you for asking me.
But to get back to the question, yes, tampons and pads have a very negative impact. And technically,
and it sucks that there's no options.
Yeah. And there are coming out with a lot of really awesome biodegradable options that if you're a woman, they are more expensive, but it's worth it. Also, I'm going to make a quick advocation to the world. Please, if you have extra bucks, donate pads and tampons to your local shelters.
Yes.
Because homeless women have
to free bleed.
And it's so not good for their bodies. And
It's not good for
that's literally the hardest. Well, but it's the hardest time of month for them because they
Yeah.
physically can't even try to go do things. And so please, if you have some time, donate. Maybe if you have like a box of a size that you don't wear anymore, like donate them to like your local shelter, church, Goodwill, mom's food do food pantries, because they will take them for people.
It's one of the things that people don't think to donate, so they
Yeah,
never have them.
they never do. And that's literally, I think, one of the most important things.
Instead of
Donating
your
that.
shitty green beans, donate some pads.
Yeah, donate pads and tampons, and I would also recommend donating like paper towels and toilet paper
And toothpaste.
and yeah.
Toothbrushes. Mm-hmm. Toiletries.
Donate the
Let's move on to
toiletries.
the next one.
So I was thinking this one was interesting, and I think it kind of goes along with what we were talking about. And I think it'd be an interesting topic.
Okay.
So it's not a question, it's more of a statement. And it's sex workers are legit workers, and laws prohibiting the work need to be reevaluated.
Correct.
I agree. I think sex work is something that
It should be protected.
it should be protected. I think the people who participate in sex work should be able to get health care and needs other than places like Planned Parenthood and things like that.
Thinking on the other level where it's criminalized, so if you get assaulted,
Oh yeah, and then
by
they're
a
like,
sex worker,
they'll
throw you in jail for admitting to prostitution.
but you know what? They also like victimize all people of rape. So
Well, yes, but it should be
it should be
you shouldn't be
destigmatized.
able to. If I report a sexual assault, I shouldn't be thrown in jail for being sexually assaulted.
No, you shouldn't. But
That's what happens to sex workers.
yeah, sex workers
so they don't
and
report it.
no, yeah.
Yeah, that's where I'm coming from with the
Yeah.
protection.
Yeah.
Also, condoms.
Well, most sex workers do use
Yeah,
condoms.
they should have more access.
Oh, they should have.
Coupon code. I'm a sex worker.
You know, everyone would just abuse that code to get
Yeah.
like hundreds and hundreds of.
Yeah, there's also like I found a service where you could get like 1,000 condoms delivered at like wholesale if you were like a
Really?
because if
Okay, did
you
I
were
ever-
doing like an event like a sexual like,
Oh,
you
that
know,
makes so much
yeah,
sense.
but then like I could get 2,000 condoms.
Did I ever tell you one of my birthday dreams? I wanted to get a ton of piñatas and fill them with condoms and like put them all everywhere. So when people opened them, it was like, have sex. That's just me. I'm weird. I've thought about that for a very long time. No.
do it.
I look at it much more as sex workers. Yes, sexual assault is a horrible thing. And I think about it much more as the fact that they shouldn't be prosecuted for doing something that they're comfortable with.
Yeah.
You know, and we're also talking about, and I want to preface, we're talking about people who choose sex work. We're not talking about individuals who have like
people.
sex trafficking, human trafficking.
Yeah.
That's a very different subject, and that needs to be policed more.
Well, the laws against prostitution affect these people too because these people they go, I've been prostituted out. They're gonna get thrown in jail for being a
I
prostitute.
know, like look at that poor girl who was in jail for killing the guy who raped her when she was like 14.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, because she's a prostitute.
Whereas, but she was human trafficked. Yeah.
If prostitution were illegal, she wouldn't be in trouble for being assaulted.
Yeah, so basically what it is they need to change the laws so prostitution is viewed differently, and then sex trafficking and forced sex work,
Are
like
gone.
forced prostitution, you could say, are made even worse because it's people who choose sex work and choose that line. Like, I get it. It's natural. Like, if it feels natural to you, I totally understand.
Yeah. And it's like, it pays really well.
It pays really well, and it's work. If it's work that you feel comfortable in,
We
like,
have
do it.
a mutual connection at school who does.
We do have a mutual friend.
She dances. At
She,
a
yep,
bar, and
yep. She is a sex
She
worker.
works 2 nights a week and she makes more money than I do.
Yeah, yeah. She's in a whole different tax bracket than either
Yeah,
of us.
Like she had to take a semester off because she was making too much money.
Yeah, and it's horrible that it's like
Yeah,
that.
she could get in serious trouble. For
But yeah, I just wanted to make that preface because some people, when they hear sex work, they automatically
think people who didn't
think
choose
good
it.
and bad people who didn't choose it. And it's like, no, there's very much a distinction between people
Yeah.
who were forced into it, trafficked, raped, beaten into this versus people who are choosing it willingly. And I think sex work is great, and I do agree it should be legal. And I think,
Well, I mean, it's not gonna go away.
no.
Prostitution is never gonna go away, no matter how much.
But
you-
also, you know what I realized, and I was the one who said the word prostitution, and I need to take it back because that's also a very outdated term.
it?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and I'm sorry because I said it first, so I put it in the
I
sphere.
see sex work as like the umbrella, and the prostitution is like the actual.
No,
sex act.
no. I was told, and I actually agreed because prostitution has such negative connotations around it that they just like sex work to be a term So like
So it's a
if you're
replacement, not an umbrella.
exactly. Yeah. So I try to stay away from prostitution because it's true. When you say prostitute, it's automatic to the negative, dark, horrible stereotypes that have been brought about for many years.
True.
And so when I say sex work, I'm usually talking about women who have more, let's say, sexual encounters for money versus someone who's, let's say, a cam girl or a cam individual. It is sex work, but I usually specify.
Okay.
Versus dancer.
This is why I got confused.
Yeah, no. So like so that was my bad. I'm so sorry. I fucked it up. So dancer, cam girl, cam person, or like cam individual, or a sex, because it's true, they are all sex workers. So you can just say, oh yeah, you're a sex worker. But for me, because I don't want to use anything that's negative about that topic.
Oh, see, I didn't realize.
Yeah. But like I said, like I was told that.
I'm not in that vein of.
Well, you don't
read that shit.
Well, you know,
often.
I've actually known, I realized this, I was thinking about it. I've known a lot of different dancers.
Oh.
Yeah, like I used to work with a dancer many years ago before she had to take a break. She was having a baby, and so she was taking a break. But that was a whole different thing.
That would be really hard to dance.
I mean,
Get money for it.
that's a fetish. Having sex
The
with
miracle of life is a
yeah,
fetish.
having sex with pregnant women and watching
Can
pregnant
we go
women
back
dance.
to ranting about men, because that's disgusting. That is a miracle and a beautiful thing.
No,
You
yeah.
should worship the ground that woman is walking on.
Yeah, no,
Put
that's a
penis in
fetish.
her.
That's a fetish.
Men,
Yeah, that's a total fetish. Total fetish.
men, you gotta stop.
Yep. But yeah, so I guess what we're trying to say is we believe that sex work
Workers
are
and should be
important,
protected.
valid, and should be protected. We believe the work that
I
they
hate
do
the
should be
word
protected.
valid.
But they are like,
They are, but I hate it.
well, I hate the fact that you used the word woke earlier and you kind of meant it. So
I was kidding. Not really. It was a really bad joke, and it made me cringe too.
it did. Okay, I think we should do Megan's. I think we should end on a light note because we actually got pretty serious in this
I don't think
episode.
this one's very funny.
No, but I'm glad that we talked. Like, these are things that need to be talked about, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
So I'm
important.
actually really glad that we did it versus trying to be funny. Like, I'm glad we actually had
Funny
a
man
legit.
antics.
Oh my God, that line. But my friend Megan, hi Megan, I love you, my soulmate.
I think we answer one from her every time.
We do, because she loves and respects the work that I do, and she wants me to succeed in life. She literally answers every time because she genuinely wants me to succeed. So
That's so sweet.
that's friendship.
Thank you for vicariously supporting me.
Yeah,
As well.
yeah.
I
See,
don't know you, but
And she's
I feel
amazing.
Like I spiritually
so
connect.
her question, taquitos. Oh wait, no one would get that reference. I'm sorry. So party a while ago, we were like, hey, penises should be taquitos. So now whenever we say something, we're like, taquitos. Anyways,
I would really appreciate
Megan's
if you didn't
question-
talk about parties that you went to without me.
so Megan asks, the What We Do in the Shadows TV show, do you think it'll be as good as the movie? Now, if you don't know the movie, I feel so sorry for you because What We Do in the Shadows is fantastic.
I've only seen clips of it.
Oh, it's so good.
I know.
Yeah, I know.
I'm a dad, and so I DVR'd it.
Yeah, you gotta watch it because it's good. What We Do in the Shadows
Like,
is
it was fucking great.
well, it is. It's a mockumentary about vampires.
Yeah, and it's take a type. How do you say his first name?
I don't remember how to say his first name. I'm not gonna butcher that
The director of Thor Ragnarok. I don't want to say his first name
because we'll butcher it, but he's amazing.
he's hilarious. But also,
I think the
have
show
opinions
is-
about Thor. Anyway.
You do, but we're not talking about Thor. We're talking about mockumentary vampires. And if anyone has seen the trailer, I think it's gonna be just as funny as the movie.
Yeah, because I think isn't he doing it?
I don't know if he's doing it, but I know the trailer, they're following a different set of vampires.
Yeah.
And
But it's the same style.
same style, and it just looks so funny. Like in one of the trailers, they got in a fight in the middle of a grocery store, and I was like, this is the shit I live for. Give it to me. Taquito on my face. I redact that was so bad, but yeah, so I think it's gonna be really good, and I'm actually really excited about it, and I think
am
you'd
too,
like it.
But I can't speak to it.
I can't wait till you see the movie, because parts of the movie, and I'll admit, there are parts of the movie that I thought were very slow, but as I've rewatched it a couple times, the first time I watched it, I actually didn't really like it. And it wasn't until I was watching it again and getting into like some of the subtleties and actually looking at how the characters really interacted with each other that I fell in love.
It's like a cold sore, it grows on you.
Talking about STDs again, are we? Because you know that's what a cold sore is. Hep C, baby.
I was going herpes, but...
Oh, yeah, wait, no, yeah, herpes C. Herpes surplus.
Do I know more than y'all? Probably. Anyway.
Well, I quit. Goodbye.
No, we have to do one more game and then we have to say goodbye.
Why do we have to do? We did all the games.
We always do Slut Corner and then we do one more and then we close it out.
Oh, I thought we always closed on Slut Corner.
No.
I'm really hungry.
Okay. So
And
let's just...
You've been mean to me all day.
I have not.
And I'm PMSing really bad. So Mama needs that. Wait, what was it again? What did I say we needed to get?
Banana egg roll.
The banana egg roll. I'm so excited. It's
Okay.
a dessert.
So let's close it out then. Let's thank MTN.
Thank MTN,
For all
MCAD.
this wonderful equipment.
Yes, thank you for
MCAD.
this. Yes.
For giving me credit in 2 classes. to
Yes,
do
thank
this.
you, MCAD, for letting me pay for my degree. We would also like to thank Ryan Bloom for the music.
Yes.
And we would also like to thank all the people who asked questions
Yeah.
today. We didn't really,
Megan.
my friend Megan, and then a couple others, some people I don't actually know because of their
Are we at
screen
that point?
names.
Are we that famous now?
Well, we're not that famous now, but one of the scream names I didn't recognize. The other one, the Glitter Kitten, I see you. You know who you are, and I know who you are. And I need to come watch you do drag some night. Do your dancing, because I'm into it.
Why can I not click on it?
Because it's an image.
Screenshot. Okay.
So,
So that's dope.
hello. So we would like to thank the Glitter Kitten. Hi. My friend Megan. We'd also like to thank,
Macy Bell. It's Macy Bell.
It's Macy Bell. Oh. And then, hello, oh, wait. Well, no, but you know what? I'd like to thank them. So there's, hello, Viween?
Hollow Viewing.
Hello, Vieween. They asked a similar question about the Hulu show Shrill, which I think we should talk about. Maybe not next week, but in the future.
maybe next week.
Because it brought up a very similar topic to the stuff that we were talking about. And I really like that people are actually bringing up some serious
We
topics.
actually get to talk about what we care about.
Yeah, so it's really nice. So I thank you all I thank everyone for posting, or we both genuinely thank everyone for posting, because you don't have to, and you choose to. And that
That's
really,
great.
it's great, because we like sharing opinions and hearing what other people think. So we thank them. We thank MTN, MCAD, Ryan Bloom for being an awesome dude,
Gave us our music,
gave us our music.
and he really wants to be on the show.
He does, which might, I don't know, that could be like a good final episode.
Why do you keep saying final episode?
Because every podcast has seasons.
Yes, but okay, we have to have this conversation off the air. Anyway, I would like
I
to...
meant series like finale, so then we
I
can have
know.
like a week break and then get back into it. Don't be such a dick.
Okay, so I would like to say go to our website, forfunsakepodcast.com.
http://www.
If you go to that website, we
For
have a directory to our
funsakepodcast.com.
Patreon where we have bonus content. We have a directory of like we're working on. We just posted the first episode.
Yay!
We're working on getting PDF versions, of
Transcripts.
so that
Yep.
if you have hard time understanding words,
Because we openly admit our first episode was not so good. Mistakes
well,
were made.
We're also going to put PDFs of everything because accessibility should be a thing.
And is really important.
Yeah.
And transcribing things is really important.
Yeah, and then we have video versions on the MTN YouTube.
We do.
have our SoundCloud has just the full episode. Our Patreon has a meme edit and
Yep.
bloopers.
And eventually we will be on iTunes.
Yeah, we're still getting verified, I think.
Yes, I think so. Yeah. So we will eventually be on places like Google Play, so you can find different ways to access
Yes.
that.
Your favorite podcast app should.
Eventually
Have us.
hold us. We're just
There's
not.
just too much of us.
We're
too
just
beautiful.
we're viscous, baby.
All right. Lastly, follow the Twitter. I'm still lonely.
You should say @ for fun's sake podcast,
at
because when you say I'm still lonely, it sounds like a.
On the Twitter, we are at podcast. At podcast FFS.
Really?
It decided it for me.
And you didn't change it?
I can't. You have to have your account for like 6 months before you can do that.
Gotcha.
So we're stuck with it.
Yay! That was my excited dance.
Okay, so that's it. I'm hungry. Let's go.
Me too. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.